What's up, guys? It's your girl Nosh, and we're back at it again. This segment, this video, is kind of like a reminder, since we're getting close, for it to close. So it's always best to go back and look at something as it's coming to an end. So this way, you know, it's very important to do that, because then you can see, did you learn what you were supposed to learn? Especially when it comes to these retrogrades, these different transitions that are taking place in the sky. Because we have to understand, at the end of the day, these things do affect our birth chart, because we also have planets that we're ruled by. So if our ruling planet is doing something amazing in the sky, it's going to affect us, right? So it's always good to be on the up and up on what's going on. And this is just a simple reminder. If I have a chance, I'm going to go over the entire zodiac wheel for you in order to tell you how this is going to affect you and what we can do about it. Because I really feel this one is an important one. And some of us really need to understand the lesson that we needed to learn in order for us not to repeat it again. Because the whole point of being put on earth is to learn a lesson, learn a skill. All of us, majority of us that listen to, you know, the my segments and my videos, you guys chose to come back here. You chose to be a woman or a man. You chose to be who you are today, what race, what religion, what country you're going to be born in, to whom you're going to be born to. These all things were chosen by you before you decided to come down into your vessel. So you chose the character that you were going to play. Isn't it cute? I like to look at it that way. That you were sitting up there, up in the sky somewhere, right? Chilling, just hanging out with God and everybody else. And you guys went over the casting call. And you picked the role that you are going to be playing this lifetime. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys remember, because I always say this to you, we are playing a role. This is the role that we have to play this lifetime. And most of us are trying to integrate all the roles that we have played in previous lifetimes into one. Technically, I believe, this is my theory, the Noshin theory, that every time we are incarnated, we are supposed to integrate and implement the role that was assigned to us in prior lifetimes into the lifetime that we are living at the current moment, in the present moment, right? Because think about it, time does not exist outside of Earth. Okay? Gravity doesn't exist outside of Earth. It's only here. Linear. The linearity of time only exists on Earth. It's only on Earth where we have night and day. You know what I mean? Like, and time goes on, and then there's January, February, March. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It's only on Earth. Outside of Earth, it doesn't exist. You know, if you were to speak to an alien, right, and say, do you know what time it is? The alien would say to you, what is time? But I think at this point in time, right, in this point in the moment, even the aliens have understood what time is, right, for us, for humans, because time still doesn't exist for them. So we're going to get into it. We're going to be talking about the Saturn retrograde that took place in June that is going to be finishing in November. So November 15th, I believe it's November 15th. It might be the 15th, the 29th. Oh, it's after the 15th, I would say, that things are going to start changing. So that things are going to start closing out, where Saturn is going to position itself back where it needs to be, or where it should be, or where it's supposed to go towards. Okay. So Saturn retrograding, this transition that started, this, you know, this movement that Saturn decided to do took place in June over the summer. Now with this, it literally talks about the lesson, responsibility, and karma. Because Saturn will be traveling, well, Saturn is traveling through the sign of Pisces. And what do we know about the sign of Pisces, who is ruled by Neptune? Dreams, subconscious, illusions, delusions, fantasy. This is what Pisces rules over. Pisces is a dreamer. If you have a child that's a Pisces, let them sleep. Their dreams tell them everything. Just a side note. If you have a child that's a Pisces, you'll be doing them such justice, and you'll be helping them out so much. You'll be helping them mold their character and who they are if you just let them sleep. So let a Pisces sleep, guys, because when they dream, that's where they see things. That's where they're able to understand things. That's where they can foretell what's going to happen, because Pisces are very intuitive. Sorry. I got thirsty. So while Saturn is going to travel through Pisces, right? But it's going to be doing it backwards. Now, even this means something because it's going backwards. It's going over things that we all need to look at in our lives, in our space, in our energy, that represent what Pisces would be doing if it was going backwards. Meaning, if you have been living in an illusion, if you have been thinking about this idea, you're going to realize, getting closer to November 15th, that this idea was just an idea in your head. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. My allergies are so bad with this season. It's just ridiculous. So please forgive me on that one. I had to. I couldn't breathe. So with Pisces, if we have Pisces in our chart, this is very important, but Pisces affects everything in a sense. It's like a whole general thing, aside from the fact that what can it affect in your chart. So Pisces is telling Saturn, right? This is the talk that's going on, because Saturn is going retrograde in Pisces. So I kind of like to look at it there, that Saturn and Pisces are sitting down talking together, and they're going backwards, they're going back into the past. And they're pulling up, I see them pulling up files and examples and lessons and experiences that have happened. And what Pisces is telling Saturn is, well, it's a beautiful idea, isn't it? Isn't it, Saturn? And Saturn is like, yeah, but it's an idea. It's not real. So whatever illusions that you have been living in, whatever you've been telling yourself, that is what is going to stop going towards November 15th. Because this area is all about personal growth. It's all about those habits that you have, those things that you incorporate from the past into the future. This is the point where everybody will learn how to heal those negative traits within them. And that's why I'm going to take the time out. And I think I think I have time. I'll go over into the entire zodiac, from Aries to Pisces, to help you understand where you need to grow, where the personal growth for you needs to take place. Because again, Pisces is a planet about dreaming. These dreams that you have in your head, if you cannot put them out, if you cannot get them moving in action, they're going to dissolve, and they need to dissolve, because that's what's holding you back from moving into where you need to go. So good example, perfect example. You meet someone and you have this idea in your head about them. And then you become extremely disappointed when that idea doesn't match up to who that person really is. Ring a bell? This is what Saturn in Pisces retrograding at this moment is going to help you understand. So that person that you thought was ideal for this or that and this and that, you're going to realize that this was just an idea that you had of them. This person is really not like this. Or the potential that you saw in this person, you only saw potential. You saw the potential clear as day. But what the potential is and what this person is that you're dealing with is two different things. And this is the illusion that's going to be broken for you. You're going to be set free from this spell, right? From this compulsion that you've been living with, right? Maybe this lifetime, maybe the past 12 years, 7 years. It's a cycle. So whatever cycle that you are operating in, whatever illusions or delusions or ideas you have here that don't match up to reality are going to come undone. So that's what's been happening all summer. You know, like the places that we worked at where we think, oh, I'm going to be here forever. Damn, next thing you find out is, well, you're not working there anymore. That marriage that you were in, oh, I'm going to be in this marriage forever. This is my soulmate. This is my ride or die. Something happens and then you realize, wait a minute. this is not what I thought it was. That friendship that you had, that idea of that friendship, that, oh my God, this person, understands me so much. This person is like my soulmate. This is my other half. If something happens between you two, you realize, oh wait, no. The idea was nice, but the reality of who this person is and the reality of who I am just doesn't match up. And it's okay. This is the part where a lot of people tend to get oh, but why is this happening? No. Please don't think that way. Please do not get offended. Please don't think negatively. This has to happen because this is where you grow. You are no longer the same person you were 12 years ago. You are no longer the same person you was 7 years ago. Hell, you're not the same person you were 6 months ago. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. Whoever you are today, whoever you woke up as today, right? You are not the same person you were yesterday. How? Because this is what's called growing. The knowledge that you retain today, the skills that you retain today, they're not the skills you had 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Every day is a learning experience for the spirit that is inside the body, living out the human experience. Because at the end of the day, we are all souls, spirits, right? Spiritual beings living out human experiences. We say this so much that it gets tiring, right? Everybody and their mother that's into spirituality now, right? Oh, we're just a spiritual being living out human experiences. Yeah, we are, but do you really understand what it means? You are not of this world. You're of the spirit world. So I don't know why most of you are trying to do what is going on in this world or trying to be like what this world is like. You were simply just put here on vacation to understand, to take a retreat. Some of you, I really shouldn't call it vacation because it's not vacation. You guys were given a mission to go to Earth, to fulfill the skills that you decided that you wanted to fulfill. Because spiritual beings are intelligent beings. They are constantly needing to grow and learn and understand, right? And spirit is eternal. Energy is eternal. It cannot be created. It cannot be destroyed. Energy is energy. It just transmutes. It transfers. It becomes something else. So all your past lifetimes, every time you decided to come back to Earth to learn something, at this moment, since Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, is going to break the illusion of what you thought you can and cannot do. Make sense? Right? So let's get through the signs to figure out what is it that you need to let go of. So I'll give you an example. Like Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, the fire sign. So when Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, Aries, you guys need to stop punishing yourself for the past. We've all made mistakes and we all learn from them, including you, Aries. You're not, you're not exempt from this. But to hold yourself accountable is the proper thing to do, but not punish yourself for it. Admit, okay, this is what I've done in the past and it didn't work out for me. Okay, fine. Don't do it again. That's where you have to learn about this, okay? Taurus. A lot of long-term friendships will probably stop for you. Why? Because you're realizing that the person you thought you were friends with is really not your friend. Or they don't see things the way you do. The most important thing about being a friend, guys, if a lot of people don't understand this, as an Aquarius moon, because friendship means so much to me, I feel like I could definitely talk about this subject of friendship. A lot of people think that being a friend to someone is doing something for them and you doing something. It's like a give and take. Good friendship is based off understanding each other completely. This is why we choose to be around certain people. You realize family, we kind of we chose before we came into this lifetime. Friendship is someone that we came across, right? I also believe that we probably did contracts with these people that are friends in our lives, just as we were choosing our family members. I think at some point in time before we entered our vessel, we also decided that, look, at this point in time in life, I will meet you and then you're going to teach me something. I truly believe that, because I believe everybody that we make contact with in our lifetime has some type of of peace to give to us that we can incorporate into our lives, just like we do for them. So for like Taurus, for example, like it says, there's going to be a lot of long-term friendships that are going to come to a halt for you. Like they're going to stop for you. You know why? Because you've outgrown them. It's like those people that have been friends for 17, 18 years. You know, it's very rare that two friends actually still are friends when they're like, you know, old and like gray, basically. Friendship is also like a marriage. It's a relationship. If you're friends with someone who doesn't understand you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you constantly are having misunderstandings in relationships, what do we tell you guys? Have clear communication. Or just end it, because you two are not meant to understand each other. And understanding is a very important key point for any relationship to work, for any connection to work. Because if misunderstandings happen, that causes wedges between two people, and then wedges happen, and that's what causes resentment. No one wants to be friends with someone who they resent. No one wants to be in a relationship with someone who they resent. Hell, nobody even wants to live with someone who they resent all the time. You want to live with someone that you wake up every morning like, ugh, fucking mouth breather is up. Now I gotta make them breakfast. You know, last week it was my birthday, they didn't even buy me flowers. You know, stuff like that. We don't want to live like that. I'm telling you. You guys didn't come here to suffer. You guys came here to get enlightened. And through enlightenment, you don't need to be suffering. You can enlighten yourself minus the suffering. Okay, it's all about perspective. So with that being said, Taurus, you've outgrown some friendships that you had. And that's what you're realizing, that a lot of the people around you that you were friends with probably don't understand you. Probably weren't there for you when you really needed them. Probably didn't respect your boundaries. Probably, you know, didn't respect you completely at all, just pretended to. This is a time period where, Taurus, you're going to see a lot of people that you thought were on your side really weren't. It's like because you provided something to them, they were able to, you know, make you a convenience. But the minute you became inconvenient, like, you know, you had kids, you got married, you got a new job, you have a new hobby, you picked up a new a skill set or something, you're going to school, something like that. These people don't find you convenient anymore. Now you're an inconvenience because you can't be there for them like you always were. And Taurus, just as you're a very loving and giving sign, especially when it comes to friends, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done so much for these people, and because you needed to take care of yourself, no one stepped up to help you take care of yourself when you've been there helping other people take care of themselves. Like you know what I mean? Taurus, you know what I'm talking about. So this is where you realize you've outgrown them. But before you close the door on the relationship forever, contemplate whether or not you're ready to permanently walk away or stay. There's some friendships that can be saved. You just have to communicate. Taking temporary break is okay. You know, like just take a break from a certain friend or whatever and just try to figure out what you want to do. That's fine. But I would say at the end of the day, how many temporary breaks are you going to take? So whenever something goes wrong, you're just going to take a temporary break. Sometimes people just need to leave your life. And it's okay, Taurus. It's okay. You can let them go. God will replace them with new people, okay? Because whatever level you were at, the level that you're walking into, these people probably don't need to be there with you, okay? But just think about it. Think about it. That's the only thing universe is saying. Because I feel like here the universe is asking you to really look at yourself and understand, do I deserve this or not? Okay? Like whatever this person has been putting me through, friend-wise, friendship-wise, you know, connection-wise, do I really deserve this? I've been there for them. But do I really deserve what they're doing for me? Or what they're doing to me? Okay? Gemini. Now is the time. I feel like Gemini has the important one. I don't know why. Not that I'm saying Taurus and Aries wasn't important, but I feel like for Gemini, this is funny. This is a time period where you're calling shots in your career. Meaning, if you're not bossing up right now, that's where you're wrong. This transit you need to be using for your advantage. meaning that business, that career that you wanted to pursue, this is a time period to do it, because I feel like you're not going to get this good of a chance anytime after this, because this is actually in your favor. With a lot of things, like with Taurus, it's telling them to, like, there's going to be friendships that's going to end. Aries is telling them, oh, you need to stop punishing yourself. For you, Gemini, it's basically saying, be a boss. Why are you like letting management tell you what to do? You're an individual that cannot be told what to do. You either need to find another place to be, or you need to work harder where you are so you can become management. See how this is like different for you? It's like a lot of Geminis, I feel like they would do really good in corporate, because corporate deals with a lot of communication and using the intelligence of putting things together, creating plans, and moving forward with them. And Gemini is really good with that. I don't know if you guys know, but Gemini and communication skills are like up to par. They're like the best. I know you're gonna say, oh, but Geminis yap so much. You know why they yap so much? Because they're really intelligent and they really know what they're talking about. It's the people who don't understand what they're on won't understand it. They won't get it. So it's Gemini. You may be a mystery to some people, but I, as a Sagittarius, totally understand you. But right now is where you really need to be looking at where you want to work, Gemini. What do you want to be doing for the next 10 to 15 years? Is the same thing that you've been doing? Because a lot of you are at a fork in the road, in a sense, when it comes to your career. And when I'm talking about career, I'm talking about your job, like every day, like, the work that you do. Are you happy making money for someone else? Or do you want to, work where you're working, but also build on your dream? There's nothing wrong with that, guys. And Geminis, you can do that. A lot of mutable signs can do this, where they can work a 9-to-5 to someone else, or work for another company, or work for a company, helping the company, grow, but also help themselves at night grow their own business, grow their own dream. Because that's the whole point. That job that you have 9-to-5 should be what fuels your dream at night for where you really want to be. So a lot of you Geminis just kind of think of it as a temporary place that you're working to save money to do what you really want to do. That's what the Saturn retrograde and Pisces is telling you about. That this illusion that you have that, oh, I'm just going to be working here forever and I'm just going to make myself happy. That's what's going to break, because you're going to start getting really uncomfortable and annoyed with the people around you, especially your bosses. Because Gemini, you need to be your own boss, okay? Cancers, you tend to be very cautious. So right now you're craving for action and adventure, right? So maybe an adventure may surprise you. Right now, Cancers, well, you should have been, since summer, Cancers, you should have been having a hobby, an activity, a spiritual quest, or something that helps you evolve. Because Cancers, you're getting to a point where you need to grow. And this is what the Saturn retrograde in Pisces is showing you. That you cannot be the same person you were. You absolutely cannot be. The same thinking that you had, the same way of perception that you saw, the same perception that you had, you have to change it. And it's kind of hard for Cancer, because I feel like Cancers are very comfortable in being in familiar areas or familiar spaces or energy. So if an energy is not familiar, they kind of tend to like stay away from it. This is why Cancers have a very hard time letting go of things. Like, believe it or not, a Cancer, what's a good example I could give you? A Cancer could break up with someone, go get married to someone else, but still think about the person they broke up with. Why? I don't know. Ask a Cancer. That's why they do this. Usually people, when they break up with somebody, they move on and then they get married. They're happy with who they chose to marry. But Cancers, for some reason, they always look back on their relationships and they have a hard time letting go, especially if it didn't work out. Especially if it didn't work out. I might have to do a second part later, because I really want to sneeze really bad, but I can't because I'm talking. So I'm going to try not to. Oh, I coughed instead. Okay, that felt better. You ever try to sneeze, but you can't, so you have to cough it out? That's what I just did. So after Cancer, I'm probably going to do a second part, so stay tuned for that. So Cancer, very, very important. Like the way you've been thinking, it has to go. It really has to go, because it's blocking you from having that it's stopping you from growth. I was going to say stopping you from evolving, which, yeah, it's the same thing, stopping you from growing. The way you've been thinking about things, the way you've been perceiving things. I know I tell you guys that everybody is evil, everybody's out to get you. You can't trust anybody. I'm still sticking to that. I'm still going to stick to that, but I'm going to add this to it. Whatever season you're going through, there will come someone who will be able to pull you through that season. Like someone will come through whatever season in life that you're in to help you move to the next level. Just like you go into people's lives for a season to help them move to where they need to. We are all catalysts for each other. I hope you guys understand this. Like, you know, I hope everybody understands that everyone has a purpose. You know, there's nothing ever a coincidence when it comes to the universe. Whenever we meet someone, whenever we talk to someone, whenever we even make eye contact with someone, there's all reasoning behind it. It is way more grandeur than we think it is. Okay, like for us to just kind of like play it off as something simple and small, it really isn't. Like, oh, it was just a coincidence. No, it wasn't. So Cancer, this is a perfect time for you. I mean, like I said, you should have, first of all, Cancer, if you haven't picked up a new hobby, you still have time. If you have not joined a new class, a new skill, a new hobby, I think I said that before, a new way of thinking, a new way of expressing yourself, a new way of developing your faith and your belief in spirituality or in God, this is the time. Because whatever illusion that you had, right? Whatever illusion that you were thinking, I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. We've all been in an illusion, especially right now. There's a lot of things in our lives that are coming up that we're looking at like, wait a minute, I didn't see it that way. Why didn't I see it like that before? Because Saturn wasn't retrograding in Pisces. Now, whatever you didn't see and you looked over and was kind of hidden in the shadow is brought to light, which is really good, because a lot of people who were doing things behind your back or feeling a certain way behind your back, and they weren't really being real with you, you're going to be able to see that. This is where you really need to understand, what is it that you want to do, Cancer? Do you want to continue looking at someone the way you did, or you really want to see the reality of them? Or do you want to continue thinking the way you did, or do you want to see the reality of what you really been thinking? Cancer, I would say, do you know how they keep themselves together? They lie to themselves. They tell themselves every day, I'm fine, when they're really not. This is the time period, Cancer. If you're not fine, admit it to yourself so you can help yourself. Because sometimes when we start lying to ourselves, we start believing those lies. So today when you come home from work, Cancer, or when you come home from somewhere and you tell yourself, no, I really like her, even though she annoys me and she bothers me, but I really like her. No, stop doing that. Oh, I really like helping them, even though I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it cuts into my sleep and then it makes me late for work, but this is... No, stop that. You really don't like driving them, do you? You really don't like being around them, do you? You have to ask yourself, what is it that was so convenient for you to be there? Now it's going to become inconvenient for you. Whatever, I hate to say it like this, but Cancer, there was something that you were receiving that was making you feel a certain way. You are no longer going to be receiving that anymore. So you need to decide and tell yourself the truth about why you were really here. Or ask yourself the truth on why were you really where you are. Whether with that friend, that family, that marriage, that relationship, why were you really there? That's what Saturn retrograding in Pisces is going to help you understand. So this way you can stop dragging along what no longer serves you. Because even for Cancers, it's hard because they can see that this no longer serves them, but they don't want to let go, because it's like, I feel like they feel, this is just my theory, that, oh, what if I miss out on this person doing this for me? I don't know why I feel that way. Even it's because Cancers have done so much for people. I feel that there's some Cancers out there that are under the illusion that, oh, I've done so much for this person, they have to do this for me. Cancers, at the end of the day, people don't have to do anything that they don't want to. I hope you understand that. Just like you don't have to do anything you don't want to. So let's try to look at the perspective that we're looking at, Cancer, and really see the reality in that. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. I will give you part 2. We just went over Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So we went over 4. I will do a part 2 for this. Stay tuned for it. I hope you really like this. Please leave a comment at the bottom. I'm going to try to do more of these as I go forward. Try to explain to you every transit that's going on in the sky and how it's affecting you personally. So this was part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. Bye.